Daryl McKeever, Moments in Motivation.
Hey family, guess what? You can now follow on YouTube. Yes, YouTube. At Simple Learning 267. Moments in Motivation. And please pay me a visit at darylmckeever.com. darylmckeever.com. I'll see you there. We're talking about the basics of human need. See, humans are social creatures. We all function best when there's communication, interaction, and some form of sharing. We all want to share. We all want to share some part of our life. We all need to share some portions of our life and having someone to listen. In too many cases, most of us are consumed with filling our own voids. And I'm pretty convinced that that is not what Christ meant of friendship. The roots of true friendship are planted in love. And here we go again, Daryl talking about love, but it's hard for me to get away from the subject because love is the fundamental base of Christ. The question becomes, do you have the ability to love? Do you have the ability to really be a friend? Just like any form of union, we need to ask ourselves questions. Let's ask ourselves, what is it that I bring to the table? What is it that I bring as a friend? Do I take away more than I give in a friendship? We all want a listening ear. But how often do you listen? We all want support and encouragement. But how often do you encourage? We all want favor. But how often do we go out of our way to do a favor for someone else? Love is always the elixir, and we all want the magic elixir. Let's not get it twisted. We all need these things. We all need connection. We all need to matter. And we all need love in some form. But the one thing we want to surpass when it comes to love is that love is an action word. Love is a verb. Love is about action. Love, it demands that we get up off of our seat and show love through our actions. It's not a concept. It's not a catchphrase. It's not a one-sided deal. Although we would love for love to be a one-sided deal, set by whatever parameters we've decided that it should have. Interesting thing about love and what love breeds. See, when there's love in the air, and that's any form of love, when there's any form of love in the air, selfishness is somewhere lurking nearby, ready to destroy that love, and that no matter what type of love that is. No one wants to be labeled as selfish, but if you're not ready to give, show, and express love in your friendship, perhaps you are a selfish person. And you have to ask yourself those questions. We have to ask ourselves those questions. Perhaps you're asleep and not steeped in so much self-awareness and wokeness as you think you may be. See, we all say, oh, I love you. Oh, I love you, bro. Oh, I love you, baby. Oh, I love you, girl. But how does that person that you're addressing really know that you love them? It has to be more than a series of cliches, catchy phrases, or just your feeling at the moment. What's the action? We said it's an action word. What's the action of love that you portray? What's the action of love that you give? What's the action of love that you give to that other person? How does your friend know? How does your friend know that you love them? And you know what? I'll go ahead and cross the water a moment. Your friend, let's take it to romantic, your significant other, a family member. How do they really know that you love them? It has to come from your actions. We all say that Christ loves us, or we try to share with another person, Christ loves you. How do we know that? We know that through his actions. Christ stands by us and has stood by us, even in times when we did not know him or want to know him. Christ encourages us when we feel most defeated. There'll be something that pulls us up by our bootstraps and pushes us on our way. That's Christ's form of encouraging. Christ communicates with us. He talks with us. It's up to us to become attuned to hearing him, quiet enough to feel his presence. But he communicates, and yes, he listens to us. If we're willing to tell him, if we're willing to talk to him, he listens. He shows he is a friend. How do we show we are a friend? Are we any example of Christ or any example of his tutelage? And not to be a fusser today, I'm not fussing, but in too many cases, our Christian community, we can prophesy, send up eloquent prayers, speak in fiery tongues, brag about our ability to discern. We become so wise. But at the same time, be very, very poor in the area of friendship. Thus meaning, we're not great in the area of love. Love is the foundation of Christ.